Mr. Richard Saffle from Wolf-PAC.
Thank you all for having me. My name is Richard Saffle. I'm the Legislative Director for Wolf-PAC West Virginia. I'm also a volunteer citizen advocate. I've been working for 5 years to add West Virginia to the list of states to call for an Article 5 convention limited to the issue of campaign finance reform. And I want to address at least one of the specific things that was mentioned, the congressional research and the research done on this. So there are a lot of op-eds written by quote-unquote experts. When you look to see who these experts are, they're experts on generally anything except for the Constitution and definitely not Article 5. But when you read what the actual research, the congressional research that's been done on this, 100% of the peer-reviewed research agrees the Article 5 convention can be limited to one or more specific issue. That includes opinions from the American Bar Association, multiple reports from the Congressional Research Service, as well as at least 2 reports from the Department of Justice, one done both under Democratic and Republican control. Now, the 1987 Department of Justice report lays out 4 specific enforcements to limit the convention to one or more specific issue, and that includes the delegates themselves, the Congress, the courts, as well as the states who have the monopoly on ratification. So these all work as a system of checks and balances in tandem with each other, as opposed to having your faith in any one of these four limitations. It's a matter of them all working together in order to stop anything that would be, illegal. So in the event that we have something that would, we have the complete failure of the states, the delegates themselves, the Congress, the courts, and the Constitution they're all sworn to uphold, we have a much greater problem than an amendment that we don't want. But let me take this one step further, and let's paint a picture of what a runaway convention would look like, what it would actually entail. So the first barrier we'd have to pass is that we'd have to get consensus on 34 states on one issue, and history shows that when states petition Congress to act on an issue, that they act. 14 out of 27 amendments have included petitions from the states that ultimately pressure Congress to do their job. The next step would be delegates, sent to a convention completely uninstructed by the states and completely unsworn in under oaths, followed by a Congress that fails even in their small task of only sending amendment proposals that are within the purview of the mandate to the states, followed by a complete breakdown of the legal system. And then lastly, and most absurd, 34 states all voting for an amendment they never showed up to discuss in the first place. And let's not forget how nearly impossible it is to get 38 states to agree on something that is popular, something that is demanded by the states. That's almost an impossible gauntlet to pass. Something that is even marginally popular would be impossible to get through this gauntlet. Now, the runaway convention fears are exaggerated and they're misplaced, and they stifle progress on important issues. We must use all the tools of democracy available to us in order to fix these most important problems facing us today. We must end these attacks on the Constitution and begin judging Article 5 calls based on the issues, not on the mechanism itself. And I, as well, will be willing to answer any questions afterwards. Thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Saffle.